Hey, students, welcome back to another lesson. Today we'll be talking about profit and loss. This is part 2 of the profit and loss lesson. Today we're going to be dealing with percentages with profit and loss. And the main objective is just to calculate profit and loss percent. Now, if it is that you did not watch that video on profit and loss, I suggest that you go ahead and watch it now. You should see the link above to go ahead and watch that video before proceeding with this video. Now that you've watched the video on profit and loss, we can proceed with calculating percentages with profit and loss. All right. Let's look into some formulas. So whenever we're calculating profit and loss percentage, it's easy to do. So to calculate the profit percent, we take our profit and we divide it by the cost price. So this horizontal line that you see here, it means this divide. So we take our profit and we divide it by the cost price. After we divide it by our cost price, the answer that we get, we multiply it by 100. And this is a simple activity for you to do with your calculator so you don't have to worry about working with percentages. I have also created a video on how to work with percentages. I will also link that video above, so you can click the link to that video to learn how to work with percentages. Now, this is the formula for profit percent. But how do we calculate profit again? You have to remember how to calculate profit before you can calculate profit percent. Very good. Profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Now, calculating loss percentage is similar to calculating profit percent. The only difference is we are working with loss. So we put the loss over the cost price, or loss divided by cost price, and the answer that we get after we divide, we multiply it by 100. And the reason we multiply both the profit percent and the loss percent by 100 is because we're dealing with percentages. And I'm sure all of you remember that percentages deal with, or percent means out of 100. All right, that's why we multiply by 100. Good. One other thing that I should point out is that the profit percent and the loss percent are always compared using the cost price. So you notice that the profit percent here, it says profit over cost price. And the loss percent here says the loss over cost price. So both profit percent and loss percent are expressed as fractions of cost price. All right, good. And in order for us to calculate loss percent, we're going to have to remember how to find loss. What's the formula to find loss again? Good. We take our cost price minus our selling price. Is this too much information? Don't worry, let us try some examples and it will all become clearer. Alright, so a boutique is a store that sells clothes items, alright? Mostly for ladies. So a boutique bought a dress for $700 and we sold it for $560. What is the profit percent? So we don't see the word selling price here and cost price, but from the question we can identify selling price and cost price. Let's see if selling sold, it was resold for $560. That means that the dress was sold for $560. Sold is a past tense of sell. All right, so that's the selling price. Sold is a past tense of sell. So the selling price is $560. All right. The cost price. How much did it cost the boutique to get that dress in order for them to sell it back? They bought a dress for $700. So how much did it cost the boutique? $700. So the cost price is $700 and the selling price is $560. And the question is asking for profit percent. It's not a profit, it's a loss. So that's an error, students. I should have typed in what is the loss percent. So the question should have read, what is the loss percent? So let me point that out, all right? Okay, good. So the loss percent is loss divided by cost price times 100. How do we set that out? What is the loss? How can we find the loss? Let us remember the formula. To find loss, we take our cost price minus our selling price. Very good. So what's the cost price? The $700, and the selling price is the $560. When we subtract, we get 140. Very good. So now that we know what our loss is, we can replace the value for the word. So the loss is $140. Very good. And we're going to write our division sign. And now our cost price. What was the cost price again? $700. So we're going to write our 700. Sorry, not 700. Right, or $700. All right. And then we're going to multiply by 100. And what does that give us? After we divide 140 by 560, after we divide our 140 by our 700, what is it that we get? You're going to get a decimal. Just use your calculators. So type in 140 divided by 700. Press your equal sign. That answer that you get, after you press your equal sign, the answer you get, you multiply that by 100 and you're supposed to get 20%. All right, so the loss is 20%. Very good. Let's do a second example. The cost to manufacture a picture frame is $93. The manufacturer sells the frame for $200. What is the profit percent? Again, we write our formula first thing. What's the formula to find profit percent again? Profit percent is profit over cost price multiplied by 100. profit divided by cost price times 100. So how do we find the profit? We have to find the profit first, not true? How do we find profit again? So the profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. What's the selling price? Let's look back in the question. The manufacturer sells the frame for $200. So the selling price is $200. Very good. And the cost price, it says the cost to manufacture a picture frame is $93. Very good. So the selling price is 200, cost price is 93, 93 from 200, that leaves us with 107. So the profit is $107. So therefore, we know what the profit is, so we're going to replace the word profit for the value, which is $107. So we write 107. Then we're going to write our division sign just as we see it in the formula. Very good. Then we're going to write our cost price, which is 93. Very good. And then we're going to multiply by 100. So the first thing, you're going to take your calculators, guys. Don't worry. Type in 107. Press your division sign. Then type in 93. Press your equal sign. That answer that you get, don't clear it off your calculator now. Don't clear it off your calculator. Just keep the answer and then press times or press the multiplication sign and type in 100. Then you press your equal sign and you're supposed to get 115%. You're going to get a decimal, but I just rounded it off to the nearest percent. So it is 115%. Wow, this manufacturer made a lot of money. He made over 100% more. He more than doubled the amount that he paid to manufacture the picture frame. All right, and this is simply how we calculate profit and loss percentage. So let us do a quick revision. Percent means out of 100, so we're dealing with 100. When we find profit percent and loss percent, we express them in terms of the cost price. So the cost price is always considered. So to find the profit percent, we take the profit over the cost price. Then we multiply by 100. To find the loss percent, we take the loss over the cost price. And then we times it by 100. Always remember, we put the profit or the loss over the cost price. And then we multiply by 100. You've made it to the end of another video, students. Well done. Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you for watching to the end. Remember to like and comment below if this video helps so that I know how to best improve my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. All right, students? Good.